shout out to Angie. Her team does a lot of deals. If you're not tapped into Angie, please be tapped into Angie. Her, Dom, their whole entire team are freaking gangsters. I'm texting Angie a couple of days ago. Was it yesterday?
Yes. Yes. Well,
okay. So check this out. I want to point a couple of things out. Big lesson for everybody in here using Angie's story. So pay attention to this for just a second. Angie, correct me if I'm wrong. You, Angie, and Dom have been working with helping this buyer. I think his name is Matt.
Yes.
Find a forever home for him and his family.
Yes.
And you've been helping him for literally 2.5 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So not only do you go and help him get the deal under contract, negotiate with the seller, do the paperwork, all the things, you help him do all of these things. You then get him under contract. You have an assignment, a legal agreement with this guy. You go open escrow at a title company. So here's Angie. Here's the title company. Here's Matt. You got a contract. You go open up the title company and everybody's all on the same page. Next thing you know,
Matt, we were wrapping it.
Oh, okay. But you were still going through a title company, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. So you were wrapping this deal to him. Perfect. Love it. Matt, who's not in sub 2, by the way, Matt ends up ghosting Angie, and Matt goes directly to the title company and says, hey, so Angie's not involved in this anymore. I'm going to be buying this directly. He completely cuts Angie out of the deal, like so blatantly obvious. He just cuts her out of the deal. Angie then sends me a text and she tells me what happens. So I get a hold of Matt through a kind of a weird thing I don't need to go into, but I get a hold of Matt and I threaten him and I say, hey brother, I don't want to threaten you, but this is going to be some of the greatest YouTube content for everybody in this industry, just to point out that there's snakes like you in the industry. And I just want to let you know, I'm going to get an attorney involved. I'm going to subpoena tax records. I'm going to subpoena all this stuff. And I'm going to do a docu-series on how big of a piece of turd you are that you went around somebody's back that has been working for your butt for 2.5 freaking years. So Matt, in desperation, reaches out to Angie to say, I'm sorry, I'll make payments to you for the money you are going to make. And I have not touched base with Angie since this happened. Angie, did you record the call with Matt? And what did Matt say?
Well, he said he'd make payments. And I said, well, first off, because he thought he was paying $15,000, okay, for the assignment. But I told him, I said, I'm going to be wrapping this to you. He didn't know how much I was making on the other side. I was making $15,000. So I was going to make a total of $30,000. So I had A to B contract with the seller, and then my B to C contract with Matt. So it was $15,000 I was making on the spread from Matt purchasing it. And then he was giving me an additional $15,000 for my assignment.
What I assumed is that he was ghosting you this whole time. Yeah. And then because I reached out in the way that I reached out, and I basically rustled the embers underneath the fire, and I said, I'm going to freaking document you piece of shiznit. You do not mess with people in this community. I will put you on blast. He then reaches out to you, and I call you and I go, hey, Angie, he's going to call you and you need to record this call, because I assume, and I don't know Matt well enough, I assume he probably was like, why the heck did you get other people involved? I was going to take care of you. I was going to pay you. Did he say anything like that?
No, he was scared to death. He was apologizing. He was like, I'm so sorry. You've worked so hard for me. And even my dad said, you should not do that to your friend. You need to pay her. He's like, but I don't know how much you were making totally on the other side. I said, well, it was 30,000. So you're going to have to make me payments. And he was like, oh, I promise you I'll make payments. And
okay. So immediately here's what we do. You have to, Angie, you know this better than anybody, but I want to say this outward for everybody. Right now, he's emotionally charged in a way that he would sign just about anything that you put in front of him. You need to get something together that says, I'm putting a lien against your house until you pay me my $30,000. You need a lien and a promissory note from this guy as fast as possible. Otherwise, a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and the fire dwindles down. You need to get that signed. And what was the payment arrangement?
Well, so I told him he could pay me $2,500 a month for a year.
will have people in this industry that will go out of their way to justify why they screwed you over. Angie did a great job. She did all the right paperwork. She did all the right stuff, no matter what happens. Okay. She did everything right. The only thing I would say that she could have done better is probably file a memorandum. But it's like after 2.5 freaking years, you would think there's no way this guy's going to go around Angie's back.
I truly did not think he would ever do that, because he's moving here to Colorado where we're supposed to do deals together, and he was going to come to the office, and I told him he could have, an office. I'm like, why would you ruin that relationship? I was helping him. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's tough. It's really tough to build a business and build a reputation. And Angie, you've been in the community as a leader for years, and it takes a long time to build this reputation. I remember one of the first times you and Dom ever came in on a Sub-2 Family Night Zoom. You guys were driving on the road, talking about this, that, and the other. Now you guys are out there doing raps on condos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're dominating, you're winning. And the reason being is because you've built freaking reputation over time. There's been times I don't even need to hear a story. You've never told me this, but I guarantee you there have been times where you have paid somebody in this community, even when they stopped doing the work, but they brought a lead and they didn't finish their work. You still paid them. I have never once heard somebody ever say anything but overly positive about the Milanazos. And so, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you will run it, no matter how good you are, no matter how hard you work on your reputation, no matter how hard you work for a buyer, somebody will take advantage of you in this business. Do not let their bullcrap excuses about my kid. We all got kids. We all got wives. I don't need to hear your wife and your problems are none of my business.
Yeah.
And don't use that crap in this community either. If you make a mistake, tell people I made a mistake and I'm sorry, I'll fix it.
Right.
Okay. Really good thing. Now, this guy, Matt, is not in this community. I would freaking put that guy against a cheese grater and make an example out of him if he was. We do not do that in this community. We pay people. We take care of each other. We watch each other's backs. Angie, which is such bull that you are the person that is constantly doing this for other people. And then you got a guy named Matt, after 2.5 years, will just throw crap in your face and then go, the only reason I'm fessing up is because I'm about to be blasted socially by Pace Morby.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Memorandum. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, I talked to an attorney and he said he wants me to send, my timeline I wrote and the synopsis that I wrote. And he said he's going to go and look for conflict and write him a demand letter. He's like, but is this regulated? Doing subject to.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was like, we'll talk more. He wants to learn more about it.
Oh, the attorney?
Mm-hmm.
So with Matt, what you very quickly need to do is very quickly need to get a personal guarantee, put a lien against that specific property.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing too. Like, I cannot wait for creative title and escrow, because bless that escrow officer's heart that even alerted you to the situation.
Oh, yeah, right. They called me and told me, said, what is going on here? I'm not, okay, now this guy Matt's on the contract. And I was like, what? So then I was like trying to call, nobody would answer. The agent ghosted me, Matt ghosted me, until you told him.
What a piece of crap.
I know.
Guys, by the way, let me tell you a couple of things. We remove probably one person a week inside of the Sub-2 community. You don't hear about it. You don't know about it. We protect this community. We protect. Yep. Jordana says, really? The majority of who we remove are people that are promoting stuff that they shouldn't be promoting. They steal the email list. They get all your guys' information and then they start blasting you guys. Have you guys ever gotten an email from people in the community that are like promoting their software, they're this or they're that? Those are the people that we remove. Okay. Most of the time. I've had maybe 5 people that we've removed because they stole a deal from somebody, and they actually stole the deal from somebody. We've had 2 of those people. Pay attention to this. I've had 2 people out of those 5 that I've let back into the community. Why did I do that?
Because they redeemed themselves.
They did redeem themselves. And they said, dude, I'm so sorry. I take full accountability. I recognize how powerful this community has been. I made all my money from sub two. And once I left, I was chasing a $15,000 check. And this is the old me. I grew up in a different environment. I'd never had a family like this. I never had people that cared about me. And what they did on their own accord is they went and paid the sub two member they screwed the money plus the interest of what it would have cost. Okay. And they came back and they said, I just want to let you know, I don't expect to be let back in the community, but I want you to know personally, because I let you down, that I paid this person. I apologized to them, and I've paid them interest, and I've moved on with my life as a better person. And I said, welcome back to the community.
Oh,
I think everybody deserves a second chance, but I'm not going to go, well, I'll let you back in the community if you do X, Y, and Z. I'm just like out. You get a letter from our attorney, a phone call from Josh. We have a full-time attorney named Josh. Josh calls them and says, we're doing a cease and desist. We're doing a gag order. You've never been a part of this community. You will be blacklisted from anything that Pace does. Any event that Pace goes to, you will be blacklisted from. And 3 of those people are just like, freaking screw sub two. 2 of those people are like, this was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And they got themselves back in by, on their own accord, paying those people back and taking care of them. Don't expect that, guys. Even when you catch somebody red-handed, Angie knew he closed. She's texting him. She's calling him. She's doing everything possible. Homeboy's just like, what can you do? The only thing you could have done is sue that guy, which is going to cost you $20,000 to go after him.
yeah.
And you've got this small window of time that he's scared of me blasting him on social media, that you've got to go get a personal guarantee. So,
well, I want to tell him he's going to get kicked out of the creative page. He's on the creative page.
Oh, bro, I won't kick him out. I'll blast him in there and make a whole video about him, and I'll leave him in there for a week.
Yes. Yeah, because he's on the creative page.
My gosh.
I know.
So here's my question. Does this now change maybe the way that you do things, where now you're like, I don't care who you are, and putting a memorandum on the property?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. But like you said, I out of 2.5 years, and he was on the team bringing deals. So I just was like in shock. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, well, family does it, and then your friends do it. It just sucks, but it's okay.
Alex says, can we be removed from the community from inactivity? I had an email and I got freaked out about that. I don't know. One of my favorite things about this community is you could take a break from sub 2 for a year, 2 years, 3 years, come back in here, and I'll be like, yo, what up?
Yep.
I mean, I don't want you to take a break from sub 2. There's a lot of money to be made in here, but you're in here for life, my friends. As long as prodigal son. There you go. I love that. I love that story. Somebody just sent me a message and said, hey, Pace, I want to talk to you about somebody accused me of doing a deal. Let me tell you something. If somebody accuses you of taking a deal, my team looks into both sides, because there's 3 sides to every story: your side, their side, and the truth, right? Right. And my team will look at it, and what will happen? We're like, dude, we're not getting involved in this. You guys both need to just call each other and figure this out. That's like 90% of the time. We get a lot of people that will go, it doesn't happen a lot. Probably once or twice a month, we'll get somebody who goes, hey, somebody took a deal from me. And then we dig into it. We're like, no, they didn't. The deal fell apart. The seller canceled. You guys weren't communicating, and blah, 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 blah. Don't get us involved in this stuff. And then they go, you're right.
I had a sub 2 student do that to us, and the buyer knows us. So he was like, dude, if I buy a deal from you, you have to pay them back because you went behind their back.
Uh-huh.
So our buyer busted him and was like, you got to pay me 10 extra or 15 extra $1,000 to pay Joey. Because he went behind her back.
My gosh. Guys, Angie Milanazzo, she's unbelievable. Love her husband, even though he has the worst phone on planet Earth. Freaking Matt. Doesn't Matt understand? I'm so freaking pissed off about people like this. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face is like, this is the perfect description. A team in Colorado that's doing, 6 to 12 deals every single month. You guys are doing creative, you're doing cash, you're doing listings, you're doing freaking everything. And this guy's like, Yeah, I'm going to move to Colorado. Let's do deals together. And he freaking screws you out of what he thought at the time, $15,000.
I know. Oh,
All right, guys, just so you know, your buyers will screw you. You should file memorandums when possible. People will try and go around you. If somebody in sub 2 tries to take advantage of you, email support@sub2.com. We will kick their butts out. Homie, don't play that. Okay?
yep.
Do me a favor and keep me updated on that Matt situation.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.